Welcome to Coming Inside Out. I am John Derler.
I'm Brian James.
And welcome all you gays. Pride Month. It's awesome to be gay.
Yes, it is.
And
proud to be gay.
Proud to be gay. And also, you went to Pride. You went to WeHo Pride.
I did.
Last
yes.
weekend. So walk us through and tell us how your day went.
Well, 4 gay dads. We went to a gentleman's house that lives about a block from West Hollywood.
That's convenient.
Had breakfast at his house. Yeah, it was nice. Had breakfast at his house, walked down to Santa Monica and watched the parade. I think the parade was an hour and change.
What time was the parade?
I think the parade was at 12:30.
Now, and I haven't been to Pride in a long time in West Hollywood. Is the parade like Halloween parade? Because the Halloween parade is very graphic. I mean, there's...
No. Actually, I was a little disappointed.
Because it wasn't that graphic.
Well, so the fire truck was one of the very first vehicles to come down in Pride. And I thought, this is all going to be firefighters without their shirts on, like all their calendar firefighters.
Right.
And it wasn't. It was just firefighters in their truck going down the boulevard. Yeah, it wasn't.
Were they hot, though? I mean, they don't have to have their shirts on.
They were inside the...
So you couldn't see.
They had their sunglasses on. They had all.
Look, I think that's something that you should write the mayor about and the city council
and have them
make sure that
they're a little bit
shirtless for the next prize.
Well, there was a fire truck that came down much later in the parade, but I think it was probably a retired fire truck, and then there were just
they retired
or
firemen.
No, they were. I don't know. It was as far as parades go, it was all right.
How long did it last? How long was the parade?
Maybe it's a little over an hour and a half.
And so who all came through? You had any celebrities?
The Gay Men's Choir came through.
Did they sing?
They did sing.
No, who's our gay father that did?
John.
Was he?
J-O-N. He was driving the truck.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was driving the truck.
And did they sing as they go down the parade? Or
I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I was more people watching than drunk. Not yet.
No. Okay. No. We all had but you had brunch. Y'all were hitting the
mimosas. We had a good time. Someone made me a drink to take down to the parade.
Yeah.
And it was basically a styrofoam cup of vodka. That's all it was.
Nothing nice.
Yeah. And then afterwards, we went back to his house. We ate a little bit, and then we did the whole WeHo.
The pub crawl.
We walked. We looked at all the vendors. We did all the stuff. But the coolest thing was we ended back up at the Abbey.
The Abbey.
And the guy that we went to his house, he rented space at the Abbey, and he had a roped off section, and there was like 40, maybe 50 guys, 50 guys in a roped off section, full bottle service. We were sitting there.
Eye candy galore. Because you guys were like in the center of the Abbey. For people who have not been to the Abbey, it's really a huge outdoor area, also with indoor areas of bars and dance floors and things. This place is insane.
Yes.
And you were out in the outside area because everyone has to walk to the bathroom past this. So the eye candy's great.
Oh,
that's a good section.
Yes.
Y'all were
I was there for I think I was there for probably 3 hours.
Were you really? Yeah. 3 hours.
Yeah. So it was fun.
And it was just packed up.
It was thousands and thousands of people. You have to walk down that route to go to the bathrooms. And the line for the bathrooms was always like 25, 30 people deep. So we saw everybody. But stayed there till probably 10 o'clock at night and then went home. So I had a G rated.
That's a full day.
I had an R rated.
Well, you had a G rated. You had a nice one.
Yes.
You had a nice one, but that's a full day. Driving.
Yeah. Oh, I got down there at 9:30 in the morning. Did my 10,000 steps in the morning because I didn't know if everybody was going to be walking at the parade. So, I got my exercise in and then did my day.
That's good. Well, happy Pride to everyone.
Yes.
We're all celebrating all over the world. Pride weekend. What else do we? What's this weekend and next weekend?
So this weekend is LA. Well,
well, that's the day, right? That's down at the park at downtown. I think that's happening today.
Well, in Santa Monica, the AIDS ride ended. Correct?
Yeah.
Was today the end of it? I think they all ended in Santa Monica.
All right. So,
and then their big
downtown tonight too. They've got things going on. And so that's good. Hey guys, we got a lesbian.
Oh,
who wrote in, and we've got a lesbian listener. If we have more lesbian listeners, we'd love to hear from you. You know, I think, what's great about this is we're all coming out in whatever way. And I think that this podcast, we'd love to talk about it. She's a 24-year-old lesbian. She goes, I really enjoy these episodes. And she also loves your voice. She says you sound like the actor Adam Scott.
Which I had to look him up.
Right. He was on, what's that, a little, what's that?
Big Little Lies. Big Little Lies. Reese Witherspoon's husband.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for the emails. And listen, we're still love to hear from you. So again, we're at cominginsideout@gmail.com if you want to email us.
And this came off of our YouTube page. So she commented off of YouTube.
Off of YouTube.
Yes. And you know what's so nice about this, John? When I was coming out when I knew what was happening with me, late teens, early 20s, we had nothing like this.
Right.
We had nobody to listen to, nobody to tap into, nobody to talk to. So it's amazing that we're both in our 50s, and I don't know where this woman is, but she's somewhere listening to our Gay Men's podcast. I wish I had that.
Yeah, and it's, I sometimes do a joke about the unattractive Republicans that live in the Midwest. There's a lot of, older couple, redneck Republicans.
And they're unattractive?
They're very unattractive, but they produce the hottest gay men. They do. They do. The parents are not that good looking. Their kids are like beautiful.
Really?
Yeah. And
beautiful bodies or beautiful?
They're beautiful from head to toe. It's so crazy. You talk to you meet these guys like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from but then you see on talk shows or whatever, my son came out gay, and it's like these ugly Republicans, but they produce some hot gay people.
Okay.
And they don't like to hear that. They don't like to hear that they produce really hot gay men.
Well, I'll have to go start.
I need to thank them. I got to thank those Republicans.
There you go.
You got to thank them. Seriously, you got to thank them for that. At least they're giving us some hot people.
They're giving us something. I don't know.
They're so against it. They're so against it. They're so against it.
It's terrible.
You know what I want to talk to you about and what I've heard? There was a movie with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Robert De Niro. And De Niro had a stroke and he had a stroke and he was in his New York apartment and his neighbor was a drag queen, Philip Seymour Hoffman. I forgot the name of the movie. But he hated gay people. He hated, he made fun. And De Niro played this, guy. He had the stroke, but he had to go have speech therapy. And he meets with Philip Seymour and they have a bond. Of course, they're on the outs, they're different, ideals and everything. But Philip Seymour Hoffman's character helps him. But there's a scene where Philip Seymour Hoffman and all the drag queens are talking about, I think maybe a pride parade or something, but they're also talking to the log cabin Republicans. You know what the log cabin Republicans are?
I do not know what the log cabin Republicans are.
That's the Republican gay men.
Never heard of it. No?
Yes. And you know what? I need to research it more, and I know I'm throwing it out there, but I've heard it before that, gay men, but they're Republicans. And so it's a great scene if you ever watch it. He's talking about, Philip Seymour, because listen to me, you redneck, I'm not redneck, but you Republicans, you guys are just like us. You get down on one knee and suck dick. So don't even come after me, we got a lot in common. But I guess the political views are different, and I've heard about that. So if you are a Republican log cabin gay man.
I'm going to have to look for that.
I'd love to hear from you. Seriously, because, I mean, it's just interesting. It's very interesting what, are they, how many of them are, how many Republicans are out? Think about that. Think about that. They wouldn't,
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of just.
I took a right turn here. So
big picture on this from my 10,000-foot view. And I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I think that over, I don't know, the last 10, 15, 20 years, the Republican Party has become a very Christian party. And so, I don't know. When you talk about log cabin men,
well, exactly. So seriously, I think they're called the Log Cabin Republicans, and they're gay Republicans. So I don't know. Would love to have you come on as a guest, a gay Republican.
Why not? Why not?
I'd love to hear your story.
If he's going to talk about Trump, if you could talk about supporting the Republican Party, just don't talk about supporting.
Don't talk about Trump, but I'd like to hear their story because that's what we're here for.
Is their story any different than our story?
I don't know. Let's get them on here and find out.
Suppressed. They lived in some form of suppressive sexual state for however many years.
Well, and a lot of people are still living in it.
I know, John. The most feedback that we're getting from our listeners are from men who have not come out.
Right.
So again, if I was still in the closet, I don't know. I don't think I would have sought out a podcast, a gay man's podcast. I was so tightly in the closet that I wish I had this because I would have known that there's a community of men out there.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any of this existed. I was afraid of getting on the internet because that gets me in trouble.
When I was in sex therapy, my therapist,
not conversion therapy.
No, not conversion. Just sex therapy. She suggested I read the book called Velvet Rage.
Oh, I love that book.
That is such, and listeners, if you're out there and you have not read it, get it, read it. It is such a great book, and I can identify with so much that's in that book.
Okay.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to reread that book.
Okay. I have that book. I read that book. My book looks torn up. I read it so much. I related to
the pages sticking to each other? Or
it's not a
there's no pictures.
There's no pictures.
They should put some pictures in there. If they come out with a new version of it, have some pictures.
There's some pictures. Yeah, mine is not sticky. It's just torn up. So there was a lot I could relate to with it, but then there was a whole bunch of it that I couldn't relate to because I did not grow up out and gay.
Right.
The struggle in the Velvet Rage is all of these people growing up in our culture, in our community as gay, and the effects that had on them. We have different effects because we were in the closet the whole time. So,
well, but that was part of the rage because you were suppressing so much.
Yeah.
And you suppress so much. And how does it come out? Does it come out with you drinking? Does it come out eating? Does it come out with you angry?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Yes, exactly. I mean, come on, check. It really does. And it really has. And so, and that's the one thing that I'm kind of thinking about. What has changed within me since I've come out? And, I continue to eat, but, sometimes stress eat. I don't drink as much, though. That's interesting. And I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but I don't drink like I used to. And I don't know, maybe that's if that was part of me coming out and I lost a vice. Did I lose a vice, coming out? Because there's so much, you suppress so much.
And I did all my drinking during COVID. So I didn't drink before, and I'm not really drinking that much now, but I did most of my drinking during COVID. And eating too.
What's your cocktail? What do you like?
I like an old fashioned.
What's in the old fashioned?
Bourbon, orange rind, a little bit of muddled cherry of some sort, and like a sugar cube. It's
it's delicious. Southern. It's delicious. Gentleman.
Yeah.
I like scotch. I like if I'm drinking, I like there's two. I like Johnny Black, Johnny Black, and I also like vodka tonics.
Oh, vodka tonic. All right.
Losing you.
Oh, you're losing me?
Well, a little bit.
I don't know what's going on, but hopefully
You
everybody
gotta
can
get
hear us.
closer to the mic.
Yeah. All right. I'll get closer to the mic. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, and last week I'm going to segue for a second. I brought the book in. This is the book that I read that I referred to John back in 2022 when I was living the dark night of my soul. This one, Project 369. There's 3 of them. This one's Evolved Consciousness. This book is freaking amazing. I have ripped this book up reading it, but it has all kinds of affirmations in here, stuff for every day. I don't know. I like this book. If you want to check that out,
it is a good book, and I read it. Let's see.
It's gonna flip to the page 2 to see how far he got in the book. Well, John's looking at the.
You haven't written it here.
I don't write in there. I write in a separate journal because I did this book 5 times. I actually went through the entire book and then started over. So I've done some highlighting in there, but yeah, that book was my absolute
This was one thing that hit me here in this book. It says, this is the end of the old and the beginning of the new. I am now reborn into the person I desire to be. I rest in faith, satisfied with all that I desire in my inner world. Doors of opportunity are now presenting themselves. I see things that are not seen as though they were seen. I can feel that it is all happening for me. I can feel that everything I want is already mine. I feel it in my inner world.
Yes.
Listen, I love this. And I have a coach for my business.
Okay. Oh, I did coaching too.
You do coaching?
I did.
So my coaching, they were talking about, there's a statistic that there are, I think, 60,000 thoughts a day we have in our.
All right.
And most.
How many of those are negative versus?
No, they're negative.
Oh, yes.
They're they're negative. You've got 60,000. It's like you have so many thoughts that come through your head and your mind every day. And when you just subconsciously, if that is just on a repeat of negativity. And I was talking to my son today about that. He goes, oh, I'm not good at that. I'm not good. I go, because you're telling yourself you're not good at it. If you continue to tell yourself you're not good at it, you're never going to be good at it. And I go, I want you to wipe that out. Wipe it out and not do that. And so how many times a day do you say that you love yourself, that you love your body, that you love who you are? I am enough. For so long, it's just been negative. And this, I think, and then all of these other self-help books, it doesn't have to just be this book, but there's many books out there. The other one is The Miracle Morning, which I like.
You told me about that one.
I think we talked about that last week. But it's just really telling ourselves, because we come from being shamed. We're shameful of who we are, and we're not worthy. And that was all the feelings that I felt inside before I came out. I was embarrassed of myself. I was embarrassed and shameful of who I am, or who, if people find out who I am. I didn't own it. I did not own it. And this is part of my transition of I'm owning who I am. I'm taking pride, because Pride Month, but it's part of that, have pride of who you are. And I'm thankful, that I read, reading all this stuff, but I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for my friends, my gay fathers, the support, because this is a community that we have to support each other. We definitely have to support each other and not tear each other down. There can be some catty gay people that just tear each other apart. And, it can be fun and part, but there's a lot of people that just fucking tear people down.
Yes.
And
they're looking for something They're looking to take the focus off them and put it on somebody else so that they don't have to look at themselves.
Because they're fucking hurting.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, because they're hurting. And go back to the Velvet Rage. That's part of it. That's part of he was talking about people tearing other people down because they need to make themselves feel good because they feel so fucking bad because they're not living their truth.
Yes. So John, you being in the closet, you hiding who you were, you being afraid that people were going to find you out.
Yeah.
I mean, you're out.
Yeah.
You're a dad. You have 2 teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
You still show up as the same person, don't you?
Absolutely.
You're the same guy that showed up at the basketball court as your heterosexual man versus who you are today.
Yeah.
Has anything significant changed with you?
No. No, it has not changed. And even coming out to people that you truly think that, oh my God, they're not gonna be my friend anymore. And we touched on this too before, but I want to reiterate that every single person I thought that was going to turn their back on me loved me. They love me and they're there for me. And one of my friends, I mean, he's just a Texas, businessman and, just macho and, didn't talk much about gay people. And, he was one of my best friends, but I never, and I told him, I told him over the phone, I said, man, I gotta tell you, because you're one of the last people that I have not come out to. And, I live in California, he lives in Texas, but he was, oh my God, he was just so, he goes, man, he goes, John, I think that's great. He was blown away. He goes, I had no idea, John, that you know, what I mean, because, he and I, we played the scene at bars with women. We did. We got our share. We totally got our share. I mean, we did. We were some hound dogs with women, but he, he was just just loving and caring over the phone. And then, we were on his ranch hunting. So don't judge me. Please don't judge me. But anyway, we were hunting. I eat whatever I have killed. But we're sitting up there in the deer stand and he said, so, what's it like? He goes, what's it like? I mean, are you dating anyone? What are you attracted to? Because he and I used to talk about just being attracted to women.
Yes.
But he had no idea. So for him, he was, what do you go after, And I said, it's interesting. Because my taste in men, I'm really open.
Are you? All right.
I get chased by the young bucks.
I know you do.
The 20-year-olds, those young bucks, and I like them. They're fun and everything. And, but some of the sad part of some of the young bucks are like their dad wasn't around. Their dad wasn't around for them. And look, it could be straight, gay, whatever, bi. Parents just fucking show up for your kids.
Yeah.
You know what?
Please.
Really, I just be there for your kids. But anyway, so he was, again, we're sitting there looking for deer. So what kind of dudes you like to fuck? Well, and so it was just a very unexpected conversation, but it was support.
How nice though
from him.
Yes.
And it just kind of blew me away that we were talking about that because we were always,
you're talking about other shit, maybe superficial shit.
Well, yeah. And so, my point is here, if you're out there, if you're a lesbian, if you're bi, if you're gay, whatever, it's, everyone that I expected to turn their back on me did not. They embraced me even more. So that was
John, this was your buddy that you had hung out with. So just for perspective for the listeners, when did you get married? How old were you when you married your wife?
I was 40. I was 40.
You were old, or was that the first time you were married? At 40?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you guys had been married longer than that. Okay.
No.
So you were a free man from up until your 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of that involve other men, or it was all women?
It was mostly women. There had been a couple, I think I told you about, I can't even, I don't want to, because I don't want to out anybody, but there was a couple.
Okay.
Let's just say that. Let's just say that.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
I did
mysterious.
Yes. I did not.
No, I dated a long time women. I was dating a lot of women, but I had, experimented. But yeah, that was, and I thought, okay.
I think had I experimented with men before meeting my wife, I would have just been gay.
You think?
And I know I would have been. And yeah, I was struggling with back then, but literally, I mean, this is how fucked up my mind was with all of this back in the day. I thought, okay, I'm 18 years old. I'm going to get a girlfriend, and these feelings I have towards men are going to go away. Oh, I have a girlfriend. They didn't go away. I'm going to get married, and then these feelings are going to go away. I'm going to have a kid, and then these feelings are going to go away.
Yeah.
I always thought that I was going to outgrow my attraction toward men when I was in my teens and 20s. I thought it was something that I could overcome. And, how naive is that? But I think that that's where a lot of men are. They're kind of hoping and praying that this goes away.
Yeah. Yeah. Even to dig a little deeper, intimacy. Let's talk about intimacy. I think for me, it was more transactional, nothing being paid here, but transactional with men. It wasn't, I'm going to hold your hand. It's in the very beginning of my experimentation with men. It was not holding your hand, not kissing you, but it was just more of the sexual act and getting off and getting out.
Yeah, that's coming out.
That's
versus coming inside out.
You're
coming out with your dick versus coming out emotional.
Yeah, and so from my journey, I am ready for a relationship.
Are you an open relationship or a closed relationship?
I'm open.
You're open.
Either one.
All right.
I think. I don't know. We'll come back to that. But baby steps here. The thing of it is, for me, it was more of just having the sex and getting off. But it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to kiss, make out, cuddle, hold a hand. No, that's gay. It's right. I mean, but
so sucking another guy's dick isn't
that's
gay,
not gay.
But making out with another guy's gay.
Making out with a guy is gay. But sucking dick, no, that's not gay. That's just, it has to happen. That's like shaking hands. So I think somebody told me that one time. In the gay community, sucking a dick is like shaking a hand. Yeah, shaking a hand with the straight community. But now it's changed for me. Again, it's been 8 years, and it's all been a lot of transactional. But there's sometimes there's some guys that I date or have dated.
Oh, you date?
Well, I have dated.
Okay.
Yeah, I did for a while, and I say a while, a long time, for like a month and a half, and it was forever. It was nice. It was nice. It was a little geographic undesirable. He was down in Long Beach, but it was nice. And so, yeah, I'm totally, I'm in the stage of where I am of coming out. It would be nice to meet someone and share. We have some gay fathers that are married. We have a couple that they of course they were married to women. They had children on both sides, and now it's so lovely to hear them talk about their kids going off to college. And these two guys, they have I think a pretty good relationship. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, all around with the ex-wife.
Yes.
And it's been very accepting, and the beauty to see that and to hear that. These guys are so sweet. They're so nice, and they love each other. I mean, they really love each other. And When did we were all at when we went to the Abbey. When did we go? Where did we go? What was
We were at the last time we were all together was at the Abbey.
What did we go there for?
To get drunk. I don't know. Just to hang out.
We were all, there's a gay father. There was an outing for us.
Yes. Right? It was a gay father's out.
And our two
there's about 15 or 16 of us there.
There was a lot of us, but they were there and they were just hugging and kissing on each other. And I thought, man, how sweet is that? How sweet is that? So, look, if you're listening to us and you are currently married to a woman and you're driving or you're listening, it gets better. It gets better. It takes some time, but we all are at our own pace. But if you're thinking about coming out, if you have questions, please email us at cominginsideout@gmail.com. Yes. If you just need some advice and want to talk about it.
Or if you need a support group.
If you do need a support group,
referrals to you.
Support groups out there.
Yes.
And I think we're going to start bringing on guests. Right?
We were supposed to bring somebody on today, but that didn't work out. So we're going to plan 2 weeks from now. We're going to plan.
We're going to have, and it was so funny. Real quick, there was a friend of mine I've seen on TikTok, and I guess I can say his name because he's on TikTok and his full name is there. His name is Jamie Brickhouse. And Jamie, I'm going to reach out to you because I'd love for you to come on this podcast. He and I grew up in Texas, one street over, and he was gay. We used to play as kids, but I had no idea. And then now I see his name. I'm like, holy shit. And this kid came out in Texas as being young. I think he was so brave. Jamie, you're so brave, and I just want to talk to you. But I grew up with this kid.
This isn't the kid with the fancy shit kickers on that you told us about in one of the first
episodes? No. That was another guy. No, it's funny. He had some fancy shit kicker. He definitely did. That was Matthew. And again, I don't even know if Matthew was gay, but he liked Barbra Streisand. So, that tells me something. But Jamie, I definitely, I've texted, or we've talked on Facebook. We've hit back on Facebook, but he's always on there. He's done a couple shows and stuff on TikTok. He's really funny, but I would love to get him as a guest because I'd like to, to hear his story and his journey.
Yes. We want to hear everybody. Yeah. Everybody has a unique story. Again, we'd love to get a female on here too.
Yes, maybe our lesbian 24-year-old.
Yeah, our 24-year-old lesbian. She wants to come on.
Why not?
We'll see. All right, we're at 30 minutes. I think we should. Are we ready to end this one?
Right, let's end it. All right. Take care of each other.
Thank you so much for joining us. cominginsideout@gmail.com.
Bye-bye.
The last time
sure
that screen was so big, and I don't know why there's so much big. Maybe because I have my phone plugged into my laptop.
It was always plugged into your laptop, though, right?
No, I had a different cord for this last time. This is worrying me.
You don't think it went?
I think it's still going, actually.